Hi, Ian Dainty here again, and I want to carry on, talk to you about the 7 factors for B2B marketing sales success program that I have and some of the elements that are in it. And this again is the representation, graphic representation, excuse me, of the 7 factors. There's 5 pillars. There's an underlying park systems, and I'll explain what they are when we talk about the program. And then, of course, the foundation of it all is your client-facing team. But today I want to talk about the 5 B2B client relationship stages. As you know, you got to have some kind of a relationship with your clients, and there's 5 stages you can work through, and each stage you work through will generate more fees for you, and you become a more important business advisor to your clients. So let's look at what these 5 stages are, and they're really included in pillar number 5, where you work your way towards this becoming a strategic account, and then you need to know how to manage that account, of course. So the 5 B2B client relationship stages are vendor, preferred supplier, solution provider, trusted partner, and strategic business advisor. I know that you can read as well as I can, but I just wanted to emphasize how you move up the relationship ladder. And you can see on the left side is the depth of business relationship, and on the bottom is the breadth of the business relationship. So the depth and the breadth of your business relationship with your client. So let's look at each one of these, and go through what they all entail and what it means to you. But first of all, I want to talk about again how you build trust with your clients, because it's important. You don't have a client unless you've built some sort of trust with them. They're not going to buy from you, particularly in B2B. What you have to do is generate results, showing them the value you bring them, which then brings the relationships, develops the relationships that you need. Okay, and then keep doing that with every product and service you sell, and you should be doing that all the time anyway. So you need to build trust with your clients. So the first one was a vendor. Vendors are basically order takers, okay? They call you. You attract RFPs and ITTs, invitation to tender, those kinds of things. You're mostly in a reactive mode. You're tactical. You're never strategic. You deal with procurement a lot. It's a commodity service you sell, and your margins are very low. And there's nothing the matter with being a vendor if that's what you want to be. But what you need to do though, with obviously with low margins, is you need a lot of volume in order to do it. And those kinds of things, this kind of partnership, for lack of a better term, with your client is fading out as a vendor, because more and more times you can get these types of commodity type services and products online now, okay? But there's nothing matter with being a vendor. Preferred supplier is the second stage, and it means you're a reliable supplier to them. You deal with lower management still, but you're still reliable. You're approved supplier, usually one of many. Say there's 3 or 5 of you that they've approved as an approved supplier, and to try and break into that sometimes is difficult. You exit before implementation, not all the time. If it's a service, you probably don't, but certainly with a product, you know, even though you're a preferred supplier, which is a little above a vendor, and you're selling something, usually it's still a commodity type product, and you sell them and then they implement it themselves because you've shown them how. Deal with procurement, which again you do as a vendor obviously a lot, mostly with procurement as a vendor, and your margins are low again. So the kind of difference between vendor and a supplier is, a preferred supplier, is that there's only 3 to 5 of you, say, whereas a vendor there could be all kinds of you, and they send it out, RFPs, etc., to different companies. Okay. A solution provider, you become more strategic with your clients in this. You know their industry and your client's business. You know their business problems and issues that they're running into, because they may be similar to, you have a similar base of different clients in the same type of industry or same problems. You help them evaluate what their problems are. You show them the ROI for your client, okay? So you now have an ROI. You're no longer selling a low-cost item or service. You measure their ROI. And you become a valuable asset to your client, okay? You're starting to work your way up the relationship chain, and you usually have some sort of rudimentary, at least, account plans, which of course you're going to have a lot of once you hit the top tier, of the top rung of the client relationship ladder. All right, so that's a solution provider. Trusted partner. You have all of the previous traits and all of the things that you went into the 3 previous relationship levels. You've got all of those, plus the source for strategic planning. So you may help them do their planning process. As you saw here, you give advice, okay, not just on what products you've got, but you give advice to them. They take advice, I guess, is probably a better thing, because you give advice because they've asked you for it as a trusted partner. You have a proactive you become a proactive solution provider. So you're not waiting for them to call you. You're actually calling them and say, hey, I have an idea I think we should look at that can help you with certain issues. We've talked about it recently or in the past, and we know that this will help you, that kind of thing. And you give value-added service, okay, which is really what you want to do all the time. So that's a trusted advisor. A value-added service means they expect more from you. But again, as you move up the relationship ladder, you get higher fees, more revenue, however you define it, from each of these clients. Okay? And this, of course, is the ultimate goal, is to become a strategic business advisor with your client. You work with your client executive, so you're at the client executive level, and again, it's imperative that the account executive in your company works at this level, not just your CXOs. You're like a consultant to them, okay? You're not just a vendor, you're a consultant. You help in decision making, so that's a little higher than the last level. You're part of their inner circle. They call you in when they're doing planning, and you have a long range view of their business. It's not just one product or service you're selling. You're talking about them, helping them in their long-range view, and you create solutions for your client, okay? You collaborate with them, understand what their business is, and you create solutions to them, whether it's with your own products or services or with a partner that you have. So that's what a strategic business advisor is. So what's needed to become a strategic business advisor? Well, you have to know your client inside out. So you have one account manager, as an example, with maybe 2 or 3 other salespeople and marketing people working solely on that account. You have senior executive contacts, not just your account executive, but you have peer-to-peer contacts. So let's say, depending on the size of the client, your CFO works with their CFO, or your VP of sales works with their VP of sales, etc. You understand their goals and their markets and their trends that's going on in their industry, and particularly with them. You understand who their competitors are. You understand their financial position with their mergers and acquisition activity. You have a formal account structure, not just a loose one, but it becomes formal, and you're part of the planning process. In fact, what I recommend in order to move to this level is that you facilitate their planning process. So you need to have plans, they need to have plans, and if you facilitate that, whether you do it in your own company or you bring in a professional facilitator, which I've done a lot of, then you can and you sit in on that planning session so you know what's going on. So there's some of the things that are needed to become a strategic business advisor. But there are caveats as to becoming a strategic business advisor. There's a lot of time and effort involved on your part and your clients. What you present to them, there's more people involved on your side, etc. And there's more time and effort involved in there on your client's part too. You understand your client's needs because you're talking with them all the time. Many times it's certainly weekly, but a lot of times even daily you're working with them throughout the year. But don't waste your time if they don't want to be at that level, because it takes a lot of time, effort, and money, resources on your side as it does on their side. So make sure that they want to be at that level too, and you do that because you have the knowledge and information and wherewithal to be able to help them with their business. Okay, so you want to make sure you're at the right level. If you're not at the executive level, don't waste your time. You need to know how to move to the next level, which I teach you and coach you on when during my program. You get much higher fees and revenue as a strategic business advisor. And again, it's a decision by you and your client to be at that level, okay? So whatever level you are on the 5 levels of the relationship ladder, both of you have to concur on what it is, okay? So that there they are again, the 5 B2B client relationship stages: vendor, preferred supplier, solution provider, trusted partner, and strategic business advisor. Okay, you need depth of business relationships as well as breadth of business relationships. Okay, you got to get to know their people. So that's this really is part of strategic account management, which is pillar 5. And strategic account manager is knowledge requirements, industry, client research, client management framework. You build that with them. You have outputs as far as what you're going to do to help them. You solve issues with them. And there it is there. You have relationship management with everybody in your firm that touches them and everybody in their firm, your client's firm, and you use tools to the utmost that you can, which is very important, or you can't become a strategic business advisor and they wouldn't become a strategic account without all of these tools. Okay? So that's pillar 5. If you have any questions, please email me at ian@maximizebusinessmarketing.com. And I look forward to answering your questions and also look forward to the next video. Thanks a lot. Until next time.